Hey everyone, welcome to today's video. This video is my top Sephora VIB recommendations for the sale happening, and it just so happens to be in collaboration with one of my really good friends here, Tara Lynn on YouTube. Here is her channel. She is the most loving, just genuine, sincere, the sweetest girl on YouTube. She's got everything on her channel from high-end recommendations to drugstore, everything in between. She's super funny. You guys will absolutely love her. Go ahead, go over to her channel, subscribe if you are not already. I know you guys are gonna love her. I love her and I fangirl her, and I'm just so honored to be part of this collab with her. So if you guys want to see my spring recommendations for the sale, then just keep watching. These are some of my favorite videos to film. I love these sales every year. Yes, Ulta just had their sale, but now Sephora is having their spring sale. So the dates for the sale are, if you are a Rouge member, you will be getting 20% off. The sale will start April 17th and go through May 1st, 20% off. Make sure to use the code SPRINGSAVE for every tier. Now for the VIBs, you get 15% off and your sale will start April 21st through the 29th. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get my dates right. And if you are an insider, you get 10% off, and your sale starts April 23rd through the 27th. So again, use code SPRINGSAVE. Now, let's get into some of my favorites. I highly recommend, this is my favorite primer and like skincare product all in one. This is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I use this every single time I do my makeup. This is a higher price tag item at $60, but this takes me a long time to go through. I'm talking like maybe half a year. And if you can get this product as a primer and a skincare product, like you could just use this as your moisturizer, but it functions as a 2-in-1. So instead of getting, a skin cream and a primer that's gonna be about the same price, you can save the money, get 2-in-1, and just buy this. I love this. I use it every time I do my makeup. Can't live without it. Because I have dry skin, this just quenches my dry skin and primes my skin for any sort of makeup that I will be doing to my face. For bronzer, I wanted to recommend the Urban Decay Beached Bronzer. This is one of my favorite bronzers ever. It is the perfect shade between warm and cool. It's just got this perfect texture. It blends in effortlessly. As you can see here, it's not too red, it's not too orange. It's what I'm wearing on my face today. Most of these products that you're going to hear me mention will be or are on my face today. So I recommend the Urban Decay Beached Bronzer. It is one of my all-time faves. So a real primer I recommend is the Becca Backlight priming filter. It looks like this. It's really beautiful. This is if you want super glowy skin underneath your makeup. Say if you're wearing a matte foundation and you still want glow to peek through, this is the perfect product for that. If you weren't able to get this during the Ulta sale, now is the time to get it for the Sephora sale. For eyeshadow palettes, I have 4 recommendations for you. If you don't own any of the Natasha Denona minis, I highly recommend, there's 2. 3 really. And I really recommend, my number 1 favorite right now is the Mini Retro palette. This just released, it's $19. You get 5 shades. I did a look doing this in one of my latest videos. I will link in the cards up here or up here. I can never remember, but these are stunning and you get some repeat shades. If you have never experienced a Natasha Denona, like the full size palette, you will get to experience it in this palette because you've got a couple of shades. This one from being the green brown palette, you've got this one being from another palette, and these are the 2 newest unique shades. So all of these are repeat shades from her larger palette. So if you'd like to experience that and have the formula be consistent with that, I recommend this little guy right here. Another one that's my favorite right here is the Mini Nude palette. I absolutely love this little palette. These are to die for, great for travel. The very pigmented, super creamy mattes. They are not hard to blend out and you can get gorgeous, definitely like unique looks with these. Also, if you are wanting to experience the Charlotte Tilbury and you are a beginner and you want this shadow experience and you just don't want to shell out the money for a quad, I highly recommend this palette right here. It is the Pillow Talk Instant Eye palette. It looks like this. So you get 4 rows of 3 shades in each row to basically give you a foolproof application for your eyes. So this would be like a daytime look, you know, an all matte look, a nighttime look, and then you've got your pops here. You can either mix and match anything to create any type of look you want. So I highly recommend this for beginners. But for my lovers of Natasha, Charlotte Tilbury, I have a love for the quad. It's what I'm wearing today, and I highly recommend it. It's so, so beautiful. Mine is the Luxury Palette Color Coded Eyeshadow, and I specifically chose this shade Copper Charge. I find that it really enhances my brown eyes. It's what I'm wearing right now. I absolutely love it. I think it's beautiful. The shades in here are super pigmented, really gorgeous. And then we have the matte in here, so stunning on the eyes. These go for a high price tag, but if you can get about $11 off, why not go for it and just get one of these? I highly recommend the Copper Charge. There's other shades. This is not a limited edition. The other three are. And my last recommendation for a large palette is the Natasha Denona Love palette. I also did a look with this. These are the most stunning purples, pinks, reds. You can go any direction with this. You can go super smoky and cool toned over here. Then you can go really warm toned over here. But you can also do neutral looks using, you know, these shades right here. So it really varies, but you get a lot for your money. This is $65. Why not get $13 off? I mean, it's only $65 for her. This is a really nice formula. It is up there with her gigantic palettes in formulation. It performs super well, and I highly recommend that. For blush, I have two recommendations for you. One is the Clinique. This is the Cheek Pop Blush Pop in the specific shade Ginger Pop. Look how beautiful this is. It's got the flower, you know, embedded in here, the sort of formula. And here is what it looks like. It is really stunning. It has a slight sheen to the component itself, and I just think it's really, really beautiful. These are super pigmented, very underrated, and I highly recommend them. They are more affordable than the next blush duo that I'm going to show you. The next blush duo is one of my favorite formulas. This was just on sale at Ulta, but if you missed that, then you will be able to have this for this sale, and it is the Cover FX Monochromatic Blush Duo, and mine is in the shade Soft Peach. So here's what it looks like, and it's what I'm wearing on my cheeks today, and here's the swatch. I love peach shades. They just flatter my skin tone so well, and you can see here, it is so beautiful. You can either use it as matte, or you can layer it with this right here to create a sheen. So if you want to put it together, that is what it would look like, just a little bit more glowy. And I just highly recommend this. I'm wearing both of these on my skin today, like I layered them, and it gives that glowy sort of look. It's nice and peachy. It's one of my favorites. For lip products, I have three recommendations for you. The first one being the Buxom Full On Plumping Lip Glosses, and mine is specifically in the shade Bellini, and it is right here on my hand. It is super, super sparkly, super shiny. It's what I'm wearing on my lips today. It does give that tingling, plumping feeling. These are $20, so why not save $4 if you are a rouge? These are amazing. These were on sale at Ulta, but now if you missed out, you can have them right here at the Sephora sale. The next one I'm going to mention is the IT Cosmetics Pillow Lips Cream. Yeah, high pigment moisture wrapping lipstick. Their whole deal is to have like skincare, anti-aging ingredients all in one. And the specific shade I'm referring to, which is what I'm wearing on my lips today, is Vision. Now look at how quilted this packaging is. Packaging really reels me in. It says cream right on the side. Here is the shade, and I'm going to swatch it right for you. And here's the shade right here. So I have this layered with this on today. This is more of like a pinkish brownish nude. It's really, really pretty. Very, very beautiful paired with the Buxom Full On Plumping Lip Cream. I absolutely love these two. For my skin tone, that is what these look like. If you're more fair, if you have pigmented lips, it's going to look more of like a real nude, not like a peachier nude, which is what it looks like on me. The last lip product I'm going to mention to you is the Bite Beauty. These are the matte cream lip crayons, and I have this shade right here in glace, I don't know, but this is a really nice brown toned nude. It's really, really flattering on my skin tone. I'm a medium to tan skin tone. I really, really like this shade. They came out with all new shades, and I recommend those 100%. These are now vegan and cruelty free. And if you are going that route, I recommend the Bite Beauty lip crayons. I have three foundation recommendations for you. One being the Anastasia Luminous Foundation. I love this stuff. This can be built up from a medium to a full coverage. It's what I'm wearing on my face today. I don't find that it's super luminous. I find that it dries down a little bit like a satin matte, but here it is, and I am in the shade 230N, and it just looks so beautiful. It covers so nicely. And you can see there is that luminosity, but it does dry down to, you know, sort of like a satin. It does still have a little bit of luminosity to it. And I really like this. I find that it's long wearing, and it's just one of my favorites. For a more sheer foundation that's more of an everyday type of foundation, I've been going with the Makeup Forever Reboot. This has been like my #1. I highly recommend it. It brightens, smooths, firms, hydrates, and evens out. It is your skin, but better. It is very liquidy in consistency, and it goes like this. So this is a natural skin finish. If that's what you're going for, you're gonna get it with this. And this is very, very hydrating. It does even the skin out. This provides me medium coverage. I really love it, and I'm in the shade Y315. For a powder foundation, I'm going to recommend to you the Makeup Forever Matte Velvet Skin Powder Foundation. I am in the shade R260, and it looks like this. It comes with a sponge applicator like this, and the sheer side would be the white side, and a more thicker application is with the black side. I highly recommend using the sponge with this. So I'm going to put a little bit on right now and just show you that it just is instant full coverage. I mean, this stuff is no joke. I love it so much. It is really perfecting on the skin. Like if you have imperfections, this will fix it completely 100%. I love to use this touching up throughout the day, and it's so, so good. Highly recommend. If you're having that moment where you're ultra shiny during the day, you don't know what to do, take this out and blot it on your face, and it'll be just good as new. And it's super smoothing, and it's just, wow. I haven't had a powder foundation that performed like this in ever. I love this stuff. Highly recommend for the sale. If you want just a one and done full palette for contouring, bronzing, highlighting, I recommend the Smashbox Cali Contour palette. This is amazing. I love this palette. It's got the perfect contour. You've got the bronzer. You've got a highlight, an under eye setting powder. You've got this blush here. Really very beautiful. I will swatch some of these right for you now. And here's what they look like. They're ultra really smooth, pigmented. Like you guys can see this right now. And it is just really, really beautiful. Highly recommend. This is so underrated. I don't hear enough YouTubers talking about this, but it is one of my favorites. I have 3 recommendations for concealers for you. First would be my top pick for full coverage, very full coverage, and this never lets me down. It is the Hourglass Concealer. I love this because it is so full coverage, and the applicator comes saturated with product, so I always wipe it off, and it still fits right into that crease right here, and it goes all across. This is so full coverage. It lasts all day long through 14 hours, even overnight. A little goes a very long way. It is so super full coverage. I am in the shade Cedar, but this is what that looks like. This never creases, never cakes. It doesn't separate. It doesn't lose coverage throughout the day. That's why I highly recommend that. And that is very expensive. So if you're on the more budget-friendly type side and you want a really good recommendation, I highly recommend the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Sculpt Shaping Concealer. This is even cheaper than drugstore concealers based on the weight that you get and the price that it is. It's only $28, $29. It's the super coverage, and you get a half an ounce. This stuff lasts me forever. I've had this over a year and a half, and I'm in the shade Vanilla. Now, this shade runs a little bit yellow, which I find that's fine with me, but this is so super full coverage. A little does go a long way. Look at that. This does last all day. Again, it is way better than the Tarte Shape Tape. It's hydrating. It doesn't cake under the eyes, it doesn't settle, and you can even use this as an all-over foundation if you would like. The last concealer I'm going to talk about is the Dior Forever Skin Correct. This is my second favorite. It is also very full coverage, and I'm in the shade, what's that? Oh my gosh, I don't know the shade. Why don't I know the shade? 1N. Actually, I'm in the shade 2N. I just have 1N here. And this is also very saturated on the applicator. But here's what it looks like here. And very, very creamy. So super creamy. This, I don't need to set any of these, by the way. They all dry down perfect. But this one is by far my favorite for like every day. These two are for every day. This is for special occasion. Every day, this does not crease, doesn't cake, doesn't settle. It lasts for at least 12 hours or more, and it doesn't lose coverage. They all have the same three aspects that I look for in a concealer, and I think you guys would not go wrong picking either of these three concealers. They are all so very good. Now, for an under eye corrector, I highly recommend the Bobbi Brown Under Eye Corrector in Light Peach Bisque. This is what it looks like. And here's what it looks like on the back of my hand. This is it's not that emollient. It is really kind of dryish, but I like that about it. Do you see how it just conceals and it brightens? It takes away all of my dark inner cornerness and the darkness that I have here. Sometimes I can even get away with using this as a concealer. If I just go like this and lightly pat it all around my areas of darkness, I can get away with this as a concealer. Yes, it's pricey, but why not get it during the sale? Highly recommend. A cream bronzer that I'm going to recommend to you guys, my favorite that will never end, is the Milk Makeup Matte Bronzer in the shade Baked. I've had this forever, and it has a shelf life of 12 months, but here it is on the back of my hand. I used it today underneath, my other beached, why can't I think, bronzer, but here it is. It's emollient, it's beautiful. I use it with a brush, with a sponge. I can apply it right to my face. It's super forgiving. You can just use this if you're more into just cream products, or you can layer it with another product. I highly recommend. Love it. It'll last you forever. For a setting powder, an all over setting powder, under eye setting powder, and highlighter, I recommend the Hourglass Trio. This is the dim light, incandescent light, and radiant light, and it's the ambient lighting palette. So here are the shades. This is the highlighting shade. This is like a setting powder, and I just run my brush basically through all of these shades, and I get an all over glow. So I just run it through, and I just go over my whole face, and you can see it blurs out any imperfections. It goes and it highlights. It's just so pretty. It filters the face, it blurs the face while adding a little bit of that radiant luminosity, but it's not overpowering, it's not powdery. It is the smoothest of smooth formulas. If you guys have been debating the Hourglass, get this one, or they just released the one from 2017, which is all highlighting formulas. I like this because it has a highlighter, it has the setting powder, and it has like this powder right here. I can't remember what it's like, dim light, incandescent light, and radiant light. So you get one highlighter in here and two more of like a setting powder for your under eye, and this for all over the face, or you can run them all together and just have a nice luminous glow to the skin without looking powdery, because they just literally melt into the skin. Highly recommend Hourglass products. They are so good. I know this is getting quite lengthy, but I have a few more products to recommend. Before I go in with any makeup application, I've been going in with the Glow Recipe Lip Pop. This is so moisturizing, so hydrating. It's so beautiful. It adds a little bit of tint to the skin whilst being very glossy, and it's just so good. I love it. I can apply it over anything too, and it makes it look so good. And the smell is amazing. It's got little sugar granules to exfoliate the lips whilst hydrating, and I just love this little product. It is so, so good for prior to makeup application. For brow products, I want to recommend the Benefit Gimme Brow. It is my holy grail. It has been for so, so long. What I do with this, and I'm in the shade 3.5, is I brush it through my brows. This just gives you that, do you see what I'm saying? It gives you that feathered brow look, and I love it for that. And I just go through my brows with this first, and then I put on the next product I'm going to be mentioning in a second. And this really sets the brows in place all day whilst giving that feathery look. If you want that Instagram brow, you know, the very feathery. If you already have thick brows, this will be perfect just to one and done. Put this through your brow and you'll be set for the day. But for the pencil, I recommend this one. This is the IT Cosmetics Brow Power Micro Brow Pencil. It comes with a spoolie on one side, and it is so, so tiny. The tip is like literally non-existent, and you can really go and get the smallest, most precise hair-like strokes in the brow. You can like go super, super light, and it's barely there, but it is the perfect consistency. And look at just, I don't know if you can see, but look how slim that is. It is the most perfect brow pencil for getting those hair-like strokes, outlining your brow, and making it look the most natural that it can look. Highly recommend. For highlighter, I'm going to recommend you a 3-in-1 palette. This is the Cover FX Rose Gold Bar Highlighting Palette. This does not, I don't think I've ever heard YouTubers talk about this ever. You get 3 very beautiful highlights. They're all on the back of my hand here, and you can just custom create whatever you want. Look how blinding these are. I'm wearing this today. I don't know if you can tell, but I went over it with that powder, so I want to go over it with another. I want to show you another application with this on my face. So I honestly just run through the top 2 and go, oh my goodness. It is like a really natural lit from within. It just melts into the skin. It doesn't sit on top of the skin. It's really, really beautiful. You can make this ultra blinding or just very subtle, but I highly recommend this palette. Nobody has talked about this palette. Look how just how it sinks into the skin. Oh my gosh. And look at these shades. They're so beautiful, reflective, but also becoming one with the skin. It doesn't enhance texture, fine lines, or anything like that. So if you have more mature skin, I highly recommend this palette for anybody. Lastly, for a setting spray, I highly recommend the Makeup Forever Mist and Fix 2. This stuff is better than the Urban Decay De-Slick, better than the Urban Decay All Nighter. This stuff will leave your makeup on. It is like hairspray for the face, but it's not, I don't think this contains alcohol at all. So it's it's good to prepare, fix, and prep, set, and refresh. It's really awesome. You get, you know, 1 fluid ounce in here, and it's really relatively inexpensive, made in France. I love this for setting the makeup. It is long lasting. It says 12 hours. It can go longer than 12 hours. So you guys, I hope this was helpful. Those are my top picks for the Sephora sale. And I thank you so much, Tara, for collaborating with me. It has been such a pleasure getting to know you, and you're just the most sweetest, genuine. She's so thorough in her reviews. She does high-end reviews, specific reviews to like foundation, specific reviews to concealer, and she does wear tests for days and days and days before giving a recommendation. So I highly, highly trust her for any high-end concealer, foundation, anything high-end I recommend her for. And she does have a mix of the drugstore in between. So if you're not subscribed to her, go ahead and go to her channel and subscribe and watch her top picks, because we collaborated together. And the 2 top picks that we both decided on were the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Rich Face Base and the Natasha Denona Mini Retro Palette as our personal top faves that we can recommend to you for the sale. If you don't pick up anything else, pick those 2 up, because those are our favorites. And I hope you guys love this video. Subscribe if you are not already. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I will see you in my next video. Bye.